Dod Frank Act. 2020 has been an astonishingly volatile year for the United States. And there are many uncertainties around what the future may hold. Another financial crisis before us rendered several too considerable failed banks solvent. Things will work differently now than they have in the past. The good news is that taxpayers will no longer be forced to bail out these large banks. The bad news is that these large Wall Street banks can now legally bail themselves out internally in what's referred to as a bail-in, which uses depositor funds. This is because of the Dod Frank Act. Thanks to the Dod Frank Act, if you hold your money in a savings or checking account to a bank, and that bank collapses, it can now legally freeze and confiscate your funds to stay afloat. This works well for the bank. It no longer needs to rely on the federal government to save it from bankruptcy. It can simply dip into your deposit accounts to stabilize itself. What do you get for the money it took without your permission? The bank will give you its equivalent value in company shares over the course of 5 years. In other words, if a bank fails, it can legally take your money without asking and give you shares in its failing operation. Is this legal? Yes. Is it ethical? No. If you are lucky enough to hold your money in a bank that doesn't collapse in a major significant financial crisis, and your money is in a bank that doesn't collapse in a significant substantial financial crisis, in that case, your banking institution will likely have to pay fees to help recoup the money spent on stabilizing. The other banks had failed. And if you are keeping your money locked away in a safety deposit box in a bank, the banking institutions also have the right to confiscate and use those funds. This means that if you are retired, living off a pension, and holding most of your money in a checking or savings account, you may find yourself in a truly desperate position. Should your bank find itself in dire financial straits, but aside from real estate equities and debt securities, there is another asset clause that banks can't touch. Privately stored physical gold and silver shield your assets from being converted into IOUs from the bank and invest in precious metals. To learn more, please visit our website at www.crownbullion.com or give us a call at 800-807-6330.